All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really key piece of modern data infrastructure, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. Look, if you're dealing with massive amounts of data, this is something you absolutely need to get your head around. So let's just dive right in. So here's the big question, right? It's the one that everyone in the big data world has to face. You've got this flood of information, petabytes of it, coming in from all over the place. How in the world do you store all of that in a way that you can actually use it for analysis? That's the core problem we're going to unpack. So what's the real challenge here? It's all about variety. I mean, we are way past the days of just dealing with nice, neat spreadsheets. Today's data is everything. You've got your structured stuff from databases, sure, but also semi-structured things like JSON files, and even totally unstructured data, like images and videos. You need one place that can handle the whole shebang. So to tackle this problem, Microsoft's first swing at it was something called Azure Data Lake Store, which we all just call Gen 1 now. And, it was a pretty solid first effort, designed specifically for this new world of big data analytics. Okay, and the key thing to get here is that Gen 1 was, it was its own thing, a completely separate and dedicated service. It was purpose-built for analytics and gave us that folder structure we needed, but it kind of lived on its own island, away from standard Azure storage. But you know how it is, technology never stands still. And this is where the story gets really good. The next generation, Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, or ADLS Gen 2, was a huge leap forward because it fundamentally changed that architecture. And this right here, this is the single most important change. Gen 1 was a separate service. Gen 2 is integrated directly into Azure Storage. Think about that. It's not some brand new product from scratch. It's a powerhouse feature built right on top of a platform they'd already perfected. That one move unlocked everything else. So by doing this, by integrating it, Gen 2 basically gives you the best of both worlds, rolled into one super powerful service. So what does that actually mean for you? Let's break down what you get. Okay, first up, you get the mind-blowing scale of Azure Blob Storage. And if you're not familiar, just think of Blob Storage as the absolute foundation of Azure's cloud. It's their object storage service, and it's built to handle just insane amounts of data. We're talking exabytes. So right out of the gate, your data lake can grow as big as you could ever possibly need. Benefit number 2, you get all the awesome cost-saving features of Azure Storage. This means you can do smart things like automatically move data you don't access very often to cheaper, cool, or archive storage tiers. This is huge because when you're talking petabytes, every penny counts. And finally, the third piece. This is the real magic ingredient. This is what makes it a proper data lake. You get a hierarchical file system. This is the secret sauce that keeps all that data perfectly organized and primed for high-speed analytics. It's what really separates it from just being a massive data dump. Okay, so I keep talking about this hierarchical power. What on earth is it, and how does it actually work? Well, it all boils down to one critical feature. It's a bit of a mouthful, but it's called the hierarchical namespace. And really, don't let the fancy name fool you. It's a super simple idea. It lets you organize your files just like you do on your computer, with actual folders and subfolders. Okay, look at this. This explains it perfectly. On the left, that's old school object storage. Those slashes in the name, they're fake. It just looks like a folder. If you wanted to rename that 2025 folder, you'd have to go and change every single file name inside it. Imagine doing that with millions of files. It's a nightmare. Now, look at the right. With the hierarchical namespace, those are real directories. You can rename the 2025 directory in one single fast operation. That's not just a nice to have. It is a total game changer for big data analytics. So why do we care so much about this? Because this is what makes it work with the big-time analytics tools. Platforms like Azure Databricks can mount your data lake just like it's a local hard drive, making it ridiculously easy to chew through huge data sets. And hey, if you're already using Microsoft Fabric, surprise, you're using this technology. One lake is literally built on top of ADLS Gen 2. So you're probably thinking, this sounds great. How do I get it? And honestly, it could not be easier. When you set up a new Azure Storage account, or even on one you already have, there's just an option you have to check. Enable hierarchical namespace. You flick a switch, that's literally it. You've just transformed a standard storage account into a supercharged data lake. Okay, but here comes the really important part, the one thing you absolutely have to remember. Enabling this is a one-way trip. Once you flip that switch and upgrade an account, there is no going back. You can't change it back to a flat namespace. So, Just be 100% sure this is what you need for your data before you commit. And there you have it. That's the story of Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. It takes the epic scale and low cost of blob storage and then fuses it with the clean organizational power of a real file system. It's the perfect foundation for pretty much any analytics project you can dream of. So now you know how it works. The only real question is, what are you going to solve with it?